is, Ray. What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Are you ready? Are you ready? It's time!
Welcome back. Tonight, it is Tuesday, May 21st, 2024. We are in our 21st week of 2024. Can you believe that? We are almost halfway through. There are 52 weeks in a year. We are at 21. We are almost at 26, right in the middle. And how do I know that off the top of my head? Because I have shows that come out every single week. So those shows that come out every single week, those are episode 1, 2, 3, and we're up to 21. We're up to 21 this week. So we do not miss. We are in here. All right. So shout out to my guy, Yakar already. He said, I made it. Shout out to Yakar. You know, once Yakar gets here, we are on point. We're going to make it happen. All right. So if you do not know who I am your host of the show and of the channel. I am Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win.
Money.
Blessing me already. Look at that. Blessing me already. Your car says, I appreciate you. No, your car. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, your car. Thank you so much for so much support. The work that we do cannot be stopped. We are, we're like Kane and the Undertaker. Kane and the Undertaker, right? We make it happen. We make it happen, all right? So let's get into it. Let's get into the show. Let's have some fun tonight. All right. So this is the Q&A show. We are, let me open up the lines already in case anyone wants to call in and have a conversation or a question or whatever the case may be. I am here for you. I make myself available for you on Tuesday nights so that you can call in, ask me any question that you may have, and we will make it happen. All right, put this over here in case anybody calls in. And so, with that being said, let's get into the show. Let's get into our show. Where is my, okay, there goes my agenda. All right, so let's get into a little bit of housekeeping to get the show started. And then we'll get into our questions. No, I don't even have an icebreaker today. All right, it was a long day. And we're gonna get the show on the road because what else can we do? All right. So that being said, let me pull up housekeeping for tonight. So first and foremost, shout out to all of the newest subscribers. Shout out to the old subscribers. Shout out to the Tech Barbarians. Shout out to the Tech Explorers. Shout out to the Tech Prodigy. Shout out to the Bag Chasers. Shout out to the Tech Mercenaries. Shout out to everyone. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. So you know what? I appreciate you. I appreciate you even more because We're here to learn. We're here to have fun. Imagine that, making learning fun. So that being said, let's get into our show schedule. So our live show schedules, Sunday afternoons, software explorations. We're focusing on Terraform. We're going to continue our Terraform work this coming weekend. Working on our load balancers. We got things to work, but I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical about the whole ECS thing in my setup. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's them. I don't know. But we're gonna figure that out. We're gonna continue with that this weekend. Terraform. Tuesday nights we have Q&A. That's tonight. Questions that I find, questions that you have in the chat. If anyone ever wants to call in, the line is open on Tuesday nights to call in, and you can ask me a question. We can have a discussion. I can give you some pointers, some ideas, some feedback, some perspective, whatever the case may be. I am here for you. We can spend like 3 to 5 minutes having a conversation, and we'll keep it moving. All right. So Thursday nights we have software explorations. We are focusing on QA and API testing. So I was going to do part 2 of the karate framework this coming Thursday. However, part of the stories from the coaching group that I'm running, I have to do API documentation with Swagger. So I said, you know what, because that's our sprint is ending on Saturday or Sunday morning, and I needed to take care of this. So I'm like, all right, let's just, because we were gonna have a stream on API documentation anyways. So I'm like, hey, let me just do it this coming Thursday so I can finish off my stream or my sprint, and we can do the stream. So we killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So we will be implementing Swagger API documentation this coming Thursday for the app. All right. So that's the plan. That's what we're going to be doing. And then we have the morning shows, Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays, we start around 8 o'clock in the morning, coffee and kata, where we do news and mobile development. We're working right now. Well, yesterday wasn't really mobile development. We're trying to get the web version of the time cost calculator to update so that we could put our privacy policy, so we can link Google's thing to that, so we can be able to publish our app. Took a turn for the worse yesterday, but we will figure it out. We're going to get back at it tomorrow. Okay. And then Saturdays, the latest show, which honestly, I am just the face of this show, but this show is literally ran by Mitch and Yakar because they are so knowledgeable in all this data and all these numbers. And I'm just trying to understand it, but they put me onto so much game. I have some homework to do. You know what? Maybe I'll be able to do that homework this coming Friday or something like that. But I have some homework to do because I need to start planning to understand these numbers. I have to go back and look up what the letters on one of the charts mean. I have to do homework, So we will figure that out. But Saturday morning show, the name is Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate. And that's the show where we go over our weekly numbers for the week, whether it's from the U.S. Census Bureau or from the Bureau of Labor Statistics or from Michigan, University of Michigan, just different sources of information, of data, where we are reviewing how our economy, how is the jobs going, so that we can better understand it for ourselves. All right. And now we're also, we just got to find the time to do it, but going to start looking into how we're going to create this dictionary, this urban dictionary of economic data, so that we can easily comprehend everything that we are reading, and we can make it fun to digest. Because I'll tell you this, reading through those numbers and stuff, I be getting tripped up. I'm like, okay, what? I try like, okay, does this mean this or does this mean that? I need to make it easy, and if I can make it easy, we can all win together. All right, now let's run through our pre-recorded shows real quick. Mondays, we have Candid Conversations. Yesterday, I shared with you how expensive it is to actually hire one person. How expensive it is to hire one person. That's Candid Conversations. Go and check that out, because for all the people who say, "Oh, please give us a chance. Please give us a chance," go see what it costs to give you that chance, and then maybe you'll prepare a little bit better for that chance you are asking for. All right. And we have Wednesdays, software explorations, concept and overviews. Tomorrow, we are going to be breaking down what a business analyst is, what they do, and how I believe that they are the unsung heroes of the industry. And they go across industries. But after you see this presentation tomorrow about the business analyst, you're going to be like, what? I didn't know they do all of that and how they can turn a company around. And I think it would serve us well if we all had a little bit of business analyst in us, but it is what it is, all right? And then Fridays, we have the Bug Bite. The Bug Bite this coming Friday. We're going to talk about what this Norwegian oil and gas CEO it's a $1.6 trillion fund. He's the CEO of that. What he said about Americans, yes. What he said about American work ethic. Well, if you want to find out what he said, you have to tune in on Friday for the episode of the Bug Bite. All right. So that is our live show schedule. And then, that's our pre-recorded content. And we also have shorts as well as additional content. The clips from the Q&A show from like months ago being released, in some like 5 to 10 minute clips, so you can find out, these questions, get a refresher. You might have not seen it before. Maybe you're new. So catching up. All right. So that is what we do for our pre-recorded content during the week. Make sure that you like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and you hit the notification bell so you can stay informed with all of this amazing content that is coming out on a regular basis, even if I must say so myself. And what does DJ Khaled think about this? He thinks
we the best.
Yeah, and I agree. We are the best. All right. So let me jump into the chat really quick to see what in the world is going on over there. So let's see what's going on. We have my guy in the building. We have Mitch. Mitch says, they say they never really miss you until you gone. So on that note, I'm out of here after you. You almost got me, but I didn't finish. Mitch. So that means you can't leave because you have to wait until I finish. Hey. You thought you had me on that one. You thought you had me. Mitch says, took off the blazer, loosened up the tie. Superman is alive. And now the show can get started. So Mitch says, I have a question. What's your thought on low code technology? All right, that's a great question. I'm going to star that one, and I'm going to answer that one first when we get into our Q&A topics. So, and then Mitch says, business analyst, I think, is a dope career. I might be inclined to agree. I have a couple of friends who are business analysts, So we shall check that out. And your car is answering that question. So I'm gonna also star your car's answer so I can read that after we get into the Q&A part, which we're about to do that because I don't have an icebreaker, like I said. All right. So with that being said, let's get to it, and I'll bring that back up once we go into our questions. Let's see. Do we have anything else before we get into our questions? I don't really think so. So in that case, if that's the case, then do me a favor. If you are in need of additional content, if you're in need of one-on-one coaching, if you are in need of content that's going to show you how to use your calendar effectively, if you're in need of content that's going to show you how I update my resume and how some people disagree with my resume, but hey, I'm working. How about you? How about that? Right? So then go over to www.techcoachralph. Hold on. Let's scratch that. Scratch that. Your Honor, scratch that from the record. Go over to www.techcoachralph.dev where you can sign up for exclusive content as well as one-on-one coaching with me. All right, so let's get into it. So I guess the first question is going to be from Mitch. So what we're going to do, we are going to play the sound. We're going to set the timer and we are going to answer Mitch's question. And then we're going to review your car's answer as well, because, hey, the more answers we can get, the better. The more perspectives, the more thoughts, the more insight, the better. All right. So with that being said, let's transition to our question and answer segment. All right. So the first question, let's go with
another one.
And the first question comes from Mitch. Mitch says, what are your thoughts on low code technology? So let's start our timer. My first thought on low code technology is it's going to be expensive. And they will be like,
thank you for your patronage.
And why do I think that low code technology is expensive? Because you are paying for someone else to actually write the code. And then you're just, so now you don't have that much code to write. So because they're doing all of the work on the back end, then, because I've used some, I haven't like used it, but I have, did some trials and samples, and I was always like drawn back to writing my own code, because the first part is you're gonna have to get some type of subscription to it, and then you're gonna have to like plug in things here and there. And what happens when you do that is you become very limited into the customization. And if it is there's two business models around low code technology, right? There's a business model of they can like really customize it to your needs, but then that takes a lot of maintenance on that company's end. So then they're also going to charge you for that. And then there's the business model where it's one code base, and if the feature you're asking for is important enough, then they'll add that feature to it. I would rather develop the solution on my own and then have my own thing, because guess what? What if not? Because you also become a hostage to that company. And when you become that hostage to that company, you cannot go away from them, because you can, but then you're gonna have to like migrate all of your stuff over to another place. And now when you're going to that other place, maybe they can try to migrate for you, but it's gonna be a mess. And that's why I am never really in favor of being that tightly coupled. It's just like software development, right? You don't want to tightly couple your code and your integration and stuff like that. You want it to be modular. You want to be able to plug and play here and there. And that's why I say it's going to be expensive, because you're paying that fee, and it's going to be like, you're going to have to sign a contract and all that type of stuff, where what are you getting out of that low code technology? I guess is what I'm looking for. Cause I'm like, can I do the thing that I'm getting out of the low code? Can I build a team where I can teach them? And that's why I've never really been a fan of those type of tools. I'll tell you this. When I was at the website translation company, they tried, when I say they, this one guy, right? This one guy, we ended up having beef. At the end, right? But guess who won? Anyways, but the thing is, they tried to turn the automation work that my team was doing into this tool, this UI interface for low code technology, where pretty much anybody could do automation. And then they wanted me to like join and work on that. I'm like, well, why don't we just teach the team how to do regular automation, and we make it easy for them to learn it and stuff like that? Like, no, we have to use this guy's thing. And I was like, you know what? I'm out. Because it was like, there were so many restrictions, and now we have to like, so all the stuff that we were able to do, we'd have to go backwards. And there's like, oh, but for some custom things, we'll still need you to do this. I'm like, well, it's not that hard in the first place. Like, we can train these people. It's like, no, all this stuff, right? So I was like, all right, cool, I got you. But with the low code technology, you become a hostage to the software that's being built. So that's why I've never really been like crazy about it. I know some people like it and stuff like that, but to me, the customization, the critical thinking, the innovation that you can do when you're writing your own code, that is the part that I find the most important because like there's so many different situations that you have to account for. Whether you're trying to do loops, whether you're trying to do a particular type of if statements, whether you're trying to connect to APIs, so many different things that, like I said, me personally, I am not a fan of low code technology or low code low code technology. So whether it's like for software development, whether it's for like QA, whatever the case may be, I am always in favor of learning the code and writing it myself. Now, there are some open source things where they can get you part of the way there, but for example, let's take Flutter, right? Flutter is, to me, it's like in the middle. It's like middle code technology, if that exists, because I can use one code base and it's going to generate like the code for Android and the code for Apple, but it's open source and you're still writing Dart code, which is like looks very just like Java. So I don't think I've done low code. I just think they optimize it. So I don't know, but I am not a big fan of it. I am not a big fan of it. And let's say what your car said. Your car said, as a standalone, I'm scared of that because I penetrate networks all the time, and it just makes it easy for me to make a digital ghost and get in. You see, look at that. See, and I have to add, your car only does this ethically, all right? Ethically. Just putting a disclaimer out there. You know, he sometimes he forgets to include the ethically, but he always penetrates networks ethically, all right? So shout out to your car and shout out to Mitch for the amazing question. Let me see if there's any follow-ups on this one before we move on. Let's see. So your car said about the low code technology, says, as a time saver, it's the best. As an ethical, he added the ethical. It is the worst. They have bots scrubbing the internet for codes and finding vulnerabilities in them. I had a friend. He wrote this AI bot, I think it was, where it would go and it would scan through GitHub repos and leave code reviews on GitHub repos. Pretty funny. And so Mitch says, so you don't think companies will pay for the subscription? Majority of them, they will. But a lot of companies pay for this subscription. I'm not a fan of it. They will because because of what they believe they're going to get out of it. But my problem is when you get trapped into it for a very, very long time, and it's so hard to switch from there. So and Mitch says, with all this AI / automation, so I don't know. That's what I see. That's what I see. And that's the point nobody thinks. And let's see, anything else? Let me see what else. It says, maybe at first, but it's almost like white labeling. You can get a product out there, but you are not unique and you will kill your margins compared to creating the code yourself. That is a fact as well. That is a fact. Agree. And no. Oh, okay, so that's it. So that is a great question. Let me wrap that question up. Mitch hit us with the fire to get started. That's what I'm talking about. Hit us with the fire. And we got a all-star in the building. We have an all-star in the building. What's going on, Maddox 12? What's going on? Welcome to the show. I really appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you.
All right. So let's get to it. Let me get to our now second question because Mitch hit us up with the first question of the night. So the first question is for tonight, is QA on the way? Did I hold on. Let's start that over, right?
Another one.
Is QA on the way out? So this one goes, my boss told me yesterday that QA is on the way out and that we need to broaden our skills and shift left. Unit testing instead of end-to-end testing. Is this a trend across the US or the world, or is my company just in trouble? Also, if QA is actually on the way out, Is it a cyclical thing where companies realize they made a mistake and need QA after all? It is this sort of new territory? Of course, and this is a different discussion. AI is a new threat. I finally installed Copilot at my boss's insistence. I wrote a sentence with typos and it spit out a Java method that does what the sentence asked for. I'm assuming that AI will rise up and kill. Yes, it will kill us all. Then the AIs will have its wars and economies, but I repeat myself. So let's get into it. Let me see. Let's see anything. So they gave an update. It seems like more of a company problem than an industry problem. I've never been at a company long enough to get to the maybe unit test will cover everything part of the cycle. I'm going to start. Okay, cool. Whatever. So let's get to this question, right? So is QA on the way out? Absolutely not. QA will be around forever. But what type of QA will be around forever? That is the question. So I agree with your boss or your boss's boss that you do need to shift left. All the way to unit testing? Maybe not so much. But I think you can have a strong influence on unit testing. The problem with end-to-end testing is that they are very, very flaky. Usually they're done in like Selenium or like a web browser, something like that, maybe Playwright, maybe Cypress, whatever. But the problem with these end-to-end tests is they take a long time and they are very flaky. And they are more testing they're testing functionality through the UI, which is the look and feel. And I am under the belief that we should not have our business logic heavily focused on the UI because the UI can change 1,000 times while the backend stays the same. And you know, like that's how companies do it because they're trying to attract customers. They might move one thing here and one thing there, and then your tests are going to fail all the time. So we need to make sure that our business logic is being tested. That's the first thing. Now the question is, should the business logic being tested at the unit test? I don't think so. I think that the unit tests are meant to test the smallest unit of code. So like the methods and the functions that the developers are building. But that's not a business logic test. For me, the business logic lies more at the APIs, more at the integrations, and that's where we need to be focusing on. We need to get better at API testing because I'll tell you this: when I was at the web hosting company, or not the web hosting, the website translation company, we didn't do anything with API tests. I was minimally exposed to API tests or to APIs, and that was like by chance. I think that we need to start moving our testing focus. So we need to have, all right, so there's going to be the most test there needs to be is going to be the unit test because we're testing the level of code. And I think you can have a strong influence on the unit test by starting to have the discussion with the developers early, having a test plan, let them know what you're going to be looking for, seeing what they're going to be doing. And you say, okay, what are your plans for writing the unit test? If you can encourage them, which is it's a tough ask. It's a tough ask, right? But if you can get your developers to do test-driven development where they write their unit tests prior to writing their code so that once they write their code and it fails, then they can write the path, or once they write their test and it fails, they can write the code to make the test pass, and then they can keep that cycle going over and over and over again. Now, the next thing that you want to do, you want to focus on the business logic. So that should be your main focus, writing. So and the API level takes care of a lot of that business logic, the interactions back and forth, the requests, because if it's done right, the UI is going to be consuming the API to send the information back and forth, and list things on the page. Now, you still need to have some modicum of UI tests because I have seen it before where the front end developers, they totally miss the ball and they say, "Oh, this is ready to test," and then as soon as you go to the homepage, you click on login, you have a blank screen because there was a React error, right? So you need to have some tests around the UI, make sure like the basic functionalities work, but you cannot have your all your logic depending on the UI. When I was at another company, I was working on the API. I had about 1,000 tests that could run in like 5 minutes, if that much, 1,000 API tests. that could run about 5 minutes. And then I had maybe about 15 to 20 UI tests. Those took like about 30 minutes to run. So I could quickly get a result from the API really, really quickly. And same thing with the company I'm at now. We have a nice suite of API tests. Our unit tests, we have about maybe 1,000 unit tests, right? And then we have maybe about 100 API tests, maybe more than that. And then we don't have any, like, we don't really have any UI tests, but the test that we have, it's testing like pipelines and things like that of like whatever. But that's the point that I'm saying though. Like, you need to test that business logic. That's the most important thing, because if that business logic goes down, then you are in a world of trouble. So I think that your boss is right to a certain extent. Maybe he's a little bit too ambitious and zealous about the unit test part, but the end-to-end test, that is it's still needed, but the main focus of end-to-end test is a thing of the past. I know there's a lot of companies still saying, oh, Selenium, or Playwright, or Cypress, but I focus on seeing people who have API experience. And when I'm coaching my tech barbarians, I'm like, all right, write me these API tests. Write me the UI is very minimal, but we focus heavily. We've been working on the API and just added authentication to it and stuff like that. So that is the part that I'm thinking about. So and the part about installing Copilot, and it wrote your Java method for you. But did you learn? That's my question, right? Did you learn? So I won't even waste my time addressing the other part about AI this, AI that. I think AI is a friend and it's here to help. And if you look at my thumbnails for this week, you will agree with me, because my thumbnails are absolute fire this week. And on that note, I am going to wrap up this question with a nice little bow on top. And let's go to the chat really quick to see what in the world is going on with these crazy, crazy people in the chat. So, and yes, that was a great question, Mitch. And Mitch said, I thought I would be serious today. My glasses on mode. Okay, well, the night is young, Mitch. The night is young. All right. And you know what? Because Mitch is taking a bow to your card. Thank you. Far too kind. Just gonna clap it up. Clap it up for Mitch, everyone. Clap it up for Mitch. All right. And Mitch says, I think they will always need testers, but you should still level up. Don't be a one-trick pony. Nope, don't do that. Don't do that. And that's the thing. Like, there's so many different type of because as technology evolves, I was going to say this during the question, but the same way that the people went from the horse and buggy to the first car to the Ford Mustang to trucks and all that type of stuff, right? Testers just evolved with all of that, because you need testers for all of those levels. So now, as we get into AI, like before there was software like there is now, there were like, do you guys ever remember when you would open some type of package and they would say, inspected by number 532? That was a QA person. But then as we get into software, then QA just evolved. So now there's still QA doing this, like whatever in manufacturing, there's QA. There's QA in pharmaceutical, all that type of stuff. And now there's QA in software. And now as AI expands, there's going to be QA in AI. And like there's QA in
I appreciate you.
Welcome, Recember. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But like I was saying, right? The same way that there's AI coming out. There's going to be testing for AI. I've seen questions. Oh, how do you test AI? Well, you test it carefully, just like you test everything else carefully. There's going to be QA for cybersecurity. There's going to be QA for cloud, for DevOps and cloud networking and stuff like that. Whatever the case may be, there's always going to be someone who needs to test it to make sure things are working right. The worst QA tester is the person who writes their own code. And I'll tell you this, my tech barbarians prove that to me every single day. like, oh, they're like, oh, this is what's happening when I do this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Bruh.
Like, all right, leave me alone. All right. So, but now I know how much of a nuisance I've been to all of my developers for all these years, because they were like, is this supposed to happen? I'm like, no. Just write me a ticket, all right? Just write me a ticket. Jesus Christ, leave me alone. My goodness, just.
Congratulations, you played yourself. They ain't believing us.
I don't know. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. All right. And Yakar said, facts. Do everything. Mitch, you on a roll today, shooting from half court. I have the video or the soundbite for Jim Jones balling. I have to make sure I can use it. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna do that. But I want to like whenever Mitch takes a shot, I want to throw the ball in. You know, so we're gonna work on that. I'm working on that. Just give me some time. All right. And Mitch says half court. No, full court. Oh, Curry, Mitch. Okay. I got you. So Mitch is if I don't know. Whatever. Let's leave that alone. All right. So your car says facts. If you master API testing, you will be so far ahead of most people entering the field.
Message.
Yep. And Mitch says, I don't let the foolishness, fool you. I keep telling y'all, we got you, Mitch, we got you. All right. So let's keep going. Okay, now I have to read it because so the car said, Mitch, your fighting style is drunken monkey. You make us think you're not coherent, but then that's hilarious. I had to go back and read that. And it says, we need to work on that intro music. Hey, you let me know. You let me know what you got and I will make it happen. All right, let me see what Recember said. All right, Recember says, how you doing? I want to sign up for a Tech Barbarians Elite. Do you recommend it for a beginner who is still in search for first job? So honestly, I do. Like, you know what? Go to let me see. This is what I tell you to do. Right? Sign up for the lowest tier and send me a message and we can have a discussion because I do want to learn a little bit more about you to find out like what is it that you're working on. Did you take any courses yet? So sign up for the lowest tier as soon as you get a chance. And then send me a message, and I'll send you a message as soon as like people who sign up. I send them a message so we can get the conversation started, just to welcome myself. And then based on where you're at, I'll say, okay, probably maybe don't sign up yet for this tier. Maybe sign up for that tier, and then we'll get that moving so that we can figure out where you need to be. Because I just need to know like what are your interests are, things like that. But yeah, like I work with plenty of people who haven't had their first job yet, which that is a great, you just reminded me. I did have one more bit of housekeeping. So remember I told you guys that one of my Tech Barbarians had an interview happening on Monday. And guess what? They are starting June 3rd. They are starting as a business and quality analytics intern for a company, a fintech company, you know? So, hey, and guess what? They even asked them like in their interview, like how in the world did you learn all this stuff so quickly? And they said, well, I joined the Tech Barbarians and we ran it up. Nope. So, yep, it's like they're doing QA and they're doing business analytics, right? So, writing documentation and stuff like that. So we fly high, no lie. We stay fly, right? I'm just saying. So yeah, as soon as you sign up, I'll see the message come in, and then we'll start talking. I just need to learn a little bit more about you so that I can see like where what the plan is, and then we can make that happen. All right, we can make that happen. And I said, did they mention my name in the interview? I don't know. I didn't go that far, Mitch. I think you hurt their feelings when you talked about the energy drinks and told them that they're going to die if they drink energy drinks. So maybe they didn't mention your name. I don't know. All right. So Let's add your car says to Recember says you are the number one candidate. Getting the skills early is key to be hired with a great starting salary. That is a fact. So, like I said, you're definitely able to. I just want to learn a little bit more about you, and then we'll make it happen from there. But trust me, you're gonna learn a lot. And if you don't have the job, and that's the thing. If you don't have the job yet, I'm going to put you in a work environment so that you can start building the skills. I just need to know exactly where you're at so we can work out a plan. When we start coaching, we set goals, we start putting our calendar together, all that good stuff, so that we can make sure we don't miss. Right? Your car, we don't miss. All right. All right. So you get says you get you don't get 25% off when you mention Mitch. That is false advertising. Maybe I should make a code for me. And lastly, it says, have you seen all the new cases, energy drinks putting people in the hospital, messing with their heart? I have not seen it because I stay far, far away. It's like you're telling someone who's addicted to crack or something like, hey, did you see this new crack that's happening? Like, no, we stay far, far away from it. We don't do that. Like, I'm not even trying. When I go to the store, I stay far away from the energy drink aisle. All right. Come on, Mitch. You trying to get me caught up, Mitch? Are you trying to get the chat to turn on me again, Mitch? I see what you're doing. Nope. I'm clean. I am clean. All right. I am clean. So I clap it up for myself. All right. Let's get to our next question before Mitch gets me in trouble again. We are going to talk about boot camp or community college. Boot camp or community college. So let's read this question. Oh, I keep doing this, right? I get too excited, right? Let's go.
Another one.
Boot camp or community college. I live in Worcester, Massachusetts, and have very little knowledge with coding. If I want to graduate, to guarantee myself a job and a good future, what is the best option? I am 22 years old. That is a good question. What? That's a good one. That is a good one. At 22, let's start the clock, right? At 22 years old, should you go to a boot camp or should you go to a community college? Well, guess what I'm going to say. I think that you should do both. As Mitch says, both of them do both. I agree with Mitch because my position is you want to put yourself in the very best position to win. And when I say boot camp, I don't mean like doing a like particular boot camp where you're paying like $20,000 for whatever, right? I'm just saying you do something to get the knowledge. So if it's like, whether you're doing like, because on Udemy, they call their things boot camps. They're just online courses. And I think you can definitely do that to get the specific knowledge for what you need to do. Whether it is like Python or whether it's JavaScript, maybe it's like I like the web development course that's on there. I like the Python course that's on there. I like the Python data analytics course that's on there. But I think though, to put yourself in the best position to win, go to community college and meet the requirements for whatever jobs that you're going to be applying for. You just want to have more options because some places they will totally discount you if you don't have a college degree. They'll totally discount you. You might be the best, whatever it is, right? But you don't have that degree to say, sorry, you can't do it. They'll treat the college degree as a security clearance. And my position is, if you are in the position at 22 years old, what else do you have to do? So, and this is what's going to happen. If you do that boot camp, whether it's like a Udemy course or Coursera, but you get the knowledge of coding and whatever other thing that comes with it, right? Then it's going to make it a lot easier for you to go through the community college. I always tell, like when I'm coaching somebody, I'm like, I have someone who is in college right now, and I say, well, take this course on your own, and then it's going to make your schoolwork so much easier because sometimes it's really hard to understand what one of the reasons that I had so much difficulty in computer science when I was in college with C++ was that I couldn't understand a word. Yes, I couldn't understand a word that the professor was saying. There was like 100 people in the class. It was not a good learning environment for me. And I was like, okay, maybe I chose the wrong thing. Maybe I chose the wrong thing because this is not what I thought it was going to be. I didn't even know what I thought it was going to be. So I think that having targeted knowledge, targeted information, and then, so I would say, all right, so you take this course, whatever course you're going to take, and then if you want to work soon, which you can still go to school and learn, you can do 2, 3 things, 4 things at the same time. You can go to school, you can work, you can take your boot camp. You can and I would say, all right, so start learning the code, use that to help you get through school, to community college. After community college, transfer that to a 4-year college so you can finish your last 2 years, get your bachelor's degree at 22 years old, and continue to take these little courses, these boot camp, like these little boot camps or Udemy courses, whatever. Maybe get a Udemy subscription where you can like take different courses all the time, and you learn about that. You learn about Jira. You learn about Agile. You learn about Git. All these different things, and then you start applying for jobs. But guess what? Even if you're like, let's say you're applying for software development jobs and you can't get them because maybe you're not you're not ready yet. But you can start in tech support so that you can learn the industry. You can start being around the people you want to work with. And that's why I would say do both. As Mitch said, do both. Do both, right? Because it just puts you in a better position to win. Learn how to create APIs, learn how to test APIs, learn how to write unit tests. Because whatever online course you take, they're not going to, and whatever bootcamp you take, they're not going to teach you how to do unit tests. I guarantee it. Because every single person who came from a bootcamp that I've spoken to, and I'm like, do you know how to write unit tests? What's a unit test? What's a unit? What is a unit? And I'm like, if you do not know how to write unit tests, you are not going to get a job as a software developer or anything, right? So that's my thoughts on it. Like, you should definitely do both. You are so young. You have your whole life ahead of you. Spend a few dollars to get the direct knowledge so that you know how to code. Also go to school for computer science, for cybersecurity, for information technology, whatever. Just go to school for a STEM related field, and then the world will be your oyster. All right, and let's wrap that one up. And let's go to the chat really quick. But if you haven't done so already, do me a big favor. Go ahead and like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can know every single time we go live and drop new content. And if you're in need of one-on-one technical coaching, go ahead to www.techcoachralph.dev where you can sign up for exclusive content as well as a coaching plan with me where I will get you right. All right. And Mitch was saying, no, was just saying it's serious. I know, Mitch. I know it's serious. I know. And that's Mitch's public service announcement for the day. I honestly think you can learn a lot of skills on YouTube. You just have to find the right people. And you can. I learned some stuff on YouTube before. The only downfall about learning on YouTube is sometimes it's a little bit unstructured. Like you have to like piece the playlist together, the videos together, and you don't really have so I'll say for a Udemy, for instance, right? Or maybe a course. I've never used Coursera, but I've heard some good things about it. But for Udemy, some of those courses do have Discord channels that you can plug into. Like one of them that they will tell you, okay, like join the Discord and find an accountability partner to make sure that you guys are doing the work that you're supposed to be doing. You can also ask questions in the course itself, and you can take notes. So just the platform itself is pretty cool. But you can definitely learn a lot from YouTube. I've learned a lot from YouTube. I use YouTube more of a Stack Overflow sometimes to like try to see how someone else solves something. Especially like when I'm trying to figure out some stuff with like outside of like coding, like how to do something in the video editing software, how to do something in Ecamm, things like that. So and a lot of how tos as well I find out on YouTube. But yeah, like definitely YouTube is a great learning platform itself. And Mitch says Tableau, interesting Tableau. I have seen it, never really use it. And Mitch also says, I think one day you should do a stream about calendar scheduling. Doesn't have to be your calendar, but just an example. Some of the people are young and act like they can't do anything. And that is a video that I have in the Patreon at www.techcoachralph.dev. But maybe I'll consider doing it one day as well. I'll see what I can do. I'll see. If I do it, it'll only be live and I won't keep it up because that is exclusive content. That is exclusive content. And Mitch says 22 is party girl life. It's time to have some fun. All right. But it could be a guy, Mitch. It could definitely be a guy who wrote that as well. You know, could definitely be a guy. And we got, Mitch also said, you never use it. That's how you tell stories with data. Oh, okay. I got you. I've personally never used it. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of companies that I've been at, they've used it and they told stories with data. As you said, they told stories with data. And Mitch also said, no, I know 22 looking. Oh, gotcha. That is also true. That is also true. Young 22 years old. Probably he's like, but will I be able to find some girls in a Udemy online course? That is a good question. So, you know, you're right. You might be onto something, Mitch. You might be onto something. Maybe that's why community college. That's why I say do both. Get your education and go find some young men or some young ladies to talk to, you know? So, I see your point. All right. So let's get into our next question of the night.
Another one.
Automated tests and sprints? What? What are we talking about here? Automated tests and sprints. They're coming for me tonight. So it says, most of the managers try to, we're good. Most of the managers try to push for writing automated tests and sprints. What are your thoughts on this? I've seen lots of teams where everyone is anti-pattern against agile. What? Are you serious? About to make me get into a fight here. For example, a company I know whose deadline is 3 months after, and they know it very well. Still, most of the managers are pushing to write all automated tests in sprints only. Now comes the crunch mode when all stakeholders holders like management, C-suite and VPs brackets come along. They start changing stuff and product management just incorporates them. Most of the time, the changes break your stuff and your manager comes and says, why is this happening? It is frustrating. How do you guys feel and how are you handling it? So I will tell you this. Write your car anti-agile? What? That's what I said. So here's the that's putting a gun to your own. That is a fact. But here's how I feel about it, right? Start the clock. So number one, being anti-agile or anti-pattern against agile, whatever you said, that is to your own detriment because we get so much work done using the agile methodology. Things keep flowing, keep delivering. You know, without agile, there would be no CI/CD pipeline, to be honest with you, right? And I think that your managers see the value in writing the automated tests during the sprint because this is what happens. When you push off writing your automated tests after the sprint, they never get done.
Bruh.
That's exactly what happens. They never get done because if you can't keep up with them during the sprint, how are you going to keep up with them after the sprint? Because so now there's still going to be new stories brought into the next sprint, and you're going to need to test that. And then you're going to need to automate those old tests as well as write in the new test or test the new test. So, and I've been a victim. Yes, I've been a victim. Yep. I've been a victim of not writing automated tests during the active sprint. And then they get deprioritized because management, the VPs, the C-suites, whoever, the stakeholders, they don't care at that point because they want to get to production. But and I don't believe they should care because their goal is to have working software in production where they can make money. Yes, they can make money.
Money.
And now you're going to come to them and says, but in the next sprint, we can't do as much work because we have to write automated tests. And now they're like, well, why don't you just write your automated tests during the sprint? And it's like, because why don't we do it? Huh? Why don't we do it? Because we're anti-agile. That's why we don't do it. So what you really need to do is lower your velocity and up your automated test. How does the saying go? Lower your tone, strengthen your argument. Lower your velocity, strengthen your automated test. Right? Bars. I'm just saying. Bars. Right? Because if you try to play catch up, you will never get caught up. And I'll tell you this. Developers aren't going to like this, but who said that automated tests are only limited to being created by the QA engineers? On my team, anybody can write automated tests. I might put the test plan in motion and everything like that, get the testing done, write some automated tests, but the story is not done until the tests are written and created and are passing. Just saying. The story is not done until everything is done, including automated tests. Because now, if we don't have these automated tests, how can we deploy anything else? We can't deploy anything else. So I am a fan of the idea of having the automated tests being completed in the sprint. And I'll push it a step further. The automated test should be a part of the story that's being implemented. Simple as that. When we're creating subtasks for what we need to do to complete a story, we're going to say, okay, we're going to do our test plan and we're going to add automated tests around this. Now, if this is totally new automation, you have to spin up a framework, then you have to start that way. But so many times people will wait. They'll start building the software out and then they'll wait to do the automated test, and now you're behind. They should go in parallel. The first bit of code that you write, if you're just writing hello world, you should write an automated test to make sure hello world is showing up. That's my viewpoint behind it. Because it is important. Working software above everything. Working software over everything. It's going to be a t-shirt. Working WSOE. Doesn't really say anything. But working software over everything. All right? And on that note, that is that question. Hopefully that provided you some insight. All right, let's get to the chat because I see some mischief going on in here in the chat. Let's see. So, let's see. Right here. So, your car said anti-agile. Huh? That's what I was wondering. And your car says waterfall all the way. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Is it just stick to the rivers and the streams that you're used to? Just saying. I need a soundbite for that. Every time somebody says they're anti-agile, I'm going to play Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls. I'm just saying. All right. And your card says that's like putting a gun to your own head. And Mitch says this guy is giving himself 5 stars. Are you referring to me? Because I sure am. And a pat on the back. Yes. I hope you guys are talking about me. Because I sure am. Because hey, how often do I drop bars? I'm just saying, all right? I'm just saying. And it says working software over everything. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt. Working software. That is a great t-shirt idea. Don't steal it, guys. Don't steal it. Working software over everything. And says Mitch said that. What? Now they're taking my credit from me. Oh my God. You see, you guys are the worst. You guys are you know what? Aww. I'm sad now. I am sad. You guys are stealing my bars. You guys are stealing my bars. All right. Anyways. I'm gonna cry. All right. Let's get to our next one. Oh my God. This is too fun. All right. Let's be serious. Serious face. Remember that Fresh Prince episode? Like, whoa, you be serious? And he was laughing. Anyways. All right. So the next question up.
Another one.
What next after graduation? So, what do I do after graduating? It's been 1.5 months and I haven't been doing much for mental health reasons. Decision analysis paralysis. Bad habits and a horrible sleep schedule. I also have no structured day-to-day routine for my own professional development. I'm pretty embarrassed to say I wasted so much time. All right, you know what? I'm going to start to put this part on here. Let's go. But I plan on changing that right now. Okay. We getting there. I have so much learning left to do. I feel like I don't know enough, and I know I don't. I'm afraid to send out apps, and I know I also have to work on projects. So my priorities are study, work on projects, network, and get my resume worked on, owned. I feel like I shouldn't apply to jobs right now because my resume and my portfolio are trash. And I've gotten rusty with coding. For bootcamp graduates who got jobs and those who know what they're doing after graduation, what is your day like when it comes to extra studying, working on projects, networking, job hunting, anything else you did or do? I would like an idea of some kind of structure or routine to go off, and I feel very lost right now.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
So let's start our clock on this one. And I would say, you fooled me. You got me good on that one. I thought you were a college graduate. You're just a bootcamp graduate. So, I mean, you're like a junior graduate, not even a full graduate. So here's the thing, right? My God. So number one, you need to become a tech barbarian ASAP. Because I will put you on a PIP, on a performance improvement plan. You, my friend, are slumming it out right now. And you need to get serious. You need to wake up at 4:30 a.m. because guess what? You do not have any time to waste. You need to go to sleep at midnight. You need to wake up at 4:30 a.m. You might be able to take one nap at nap time during the day. But other than that, you need to be working all day long. You need to watch my video on how to use your calendar, how to structure your day, how to set up your resume, and how to put in some work. You see, the problem with people working on projects is the projects that they work on mean absolutely nothing to them. That's the problem. Those projects mean nothing to them. And that's why they don't care about it. That's why they don't keep working on it. See, me, all the projects that I work on, they actually mean something to me because I get to use them for something valuable. And I'll tell you, this is the greatest compliment I've ever gotten in my life. All right. The greatest compliment I ever got in my life. It was not that I am the best 3-point shooter in South Florida. That wasn't the compliment. It was not that I am remarkably good looking. That wasn't the compliment either. That's been a compliment, but that's not the best compliment. The best compliment I've ever gotten was by someone in one of my Discords, one of my tech explorers, one of the bag chasers. They said, you know what? Your time cost calculator helped me with pricing my hourly rate, like to give a quote for pricing. And I was like, what? My time cost calculator did that? I didn't even think about that when I was creating it. But people are finding use for it. Someone found use for it. That is absolutely amazing to me because I'm like, I find value in the time cost calculator, right? But to see someone else finding value in it, that made my day. And that was the greatest compliment that I've ever made because I created, to be fair, I got the formula itself from Anton Daniels, but I built it out so I could be an app and people can get value out of it. And somebody got value. Just one person getting value out of it. That made my day. How about that? So what my message is always to people is go and do something that adds value to your own life. Something that's going to make your life easier. And when you do that, then maybe it will add value to somebody else's life. But for me, I always want to work on the things that are going to help me. So when I'm creating the quotes generator app, and I know like sometimes I don't want to wake up, I'm tired, I'm like whatever. Oh God, it's been such a long day. I've been up at 4:30 in the morning, and I have to. It's a Thursday, it's Scrum Day, and I have to go through 3 meetings, and then I have to go. I might have a coaching call after work, and then I have to do the live stream where we're actually going to do some more work, and then have to wake. It's just so much. There's so much, and I'm like, you know what? I need a kick in the butt, and I can't have an energy drink anymore, right? I can't have an energy drink anymore. But what I do have the poopypants.app, where I can go there and I can click on the button that says I have poopy pants, and David Goggins will give me a brand new quote to say, get your up and get to work. And that's what I might have needed. That's what I needed, right? So, and those are the things that bring value to me. See, the analysis paralysis, mental health reasons. You know what? This is me. You guys are going to disagree with me. You're going to tell me that I should probably go to therapy and all stuff like that. And
how dare you?
Don't judge me, all right? Don't judge me. But I think the number one fix for mental health problems and analysis paralysis and bad habits and horrible sleep schedule is getting to work. Do something of value, and then you forget about everything else. Whenever I am frustrated, whenever I'm annoyed, whenever people are bothering the out of me, I go to work. And that doesn't mean I'm working for a company. I just go to work. I go away and I say, you know what? We are going to create some we're going to slang some massive code. Yes. And and we work. That's all I'm saying, right? So I think working fixes it all. Because if I'm bothered, I'll go and I'll lock myself away, and then I'll come out with a masterpiece. When I created the first version of the time cost calculator, I did it in 3 days. Got into the app store. I was up to 5 o'clock in the morning, and still went and played basketball that next morning, or a few hours later. It was a rough week though. And then I got the app into the app stores. I got approved, got the app into the app stores on that Monday. And I felt great. Maybe not physically, but I felt accomplished. And then we've been building it out for the past few months. And in the next few weeks, we're going to be pushing it to production. So that is my thought. I think what you should do after graduating, you should work. Even if you're not working for a company, you should work. You should work like there is no tomorrow. lay it all. I see, and me, I lay it out all on the table every single day because tomorrow is not promised. As Pimp C said, one day you're here, and the next day you're gone. All right, so lay it all out on the table, put in that work, and everything else is gonna get fixed. You could totally disagree with me. I don't know. I might be wrong, but that is how I see it. That is how I approach things, and that is how I stay victorious.
We the best.
On that note, all right, let's get to the chat really, really quick. Let's see what we got going on in the chat. So, Mitch says that mental health is serious, especially if you are not around the right people. Well, could be. Yeah, I agree. But that's why I just get to work. I just get to work. I'm like, you know what? I got things to do. I don't hang out with people. I don't spend a lot of time with people. Honest to God truth. Honest to God's truth. The other day, my wife is saying, I used to think that you were crazy because the way that you'd be with people, you don't say much. You don't want to really be around people. But you're right, because the more I'm around people, the more they make my life hell. And I was like, I know. They will suck you dry, and they will take everything from you. And that's why, you know what? I'm like, I have my moments. I go and I hang out, and then I come back. I'm like, all right, we cool here. You stay over there. And that's why fences make great neighbors. I had a family member, somewhat of a family member, who was like, oh, we should all live together in a compound or some house type thing where we have it's a big house and stuff like that, and we all have our own place and stuff like that. I was like, hell to the no. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. I'm like, you guys, you stay 2,500 miles away, and that's still too close sometimes, bro. Nah, we're not doing that. Nope. You stay over there. I'll stay over here. That's just me. That is just me. I ain't trying to be in no compound with people. I'm just good right where I'm at. All right. And Mitch says this boot camp stuff has to stop. People see the good results, but that's rare. It was booming during the pandemic. It was booming. During that's where all these people who come out, right? But you saw us read the other day that the this one boot camp is shutting down their doors. For me, I'm like, and here's another story. That same family member who was like, oh yeah, we should all live together. I was like, nah. Maybe it was 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. They're like, oh, I want to do a software engineering boot camp. And I'm like, how much does it cost? It's like, oh, it's $1,000 a month or something. But it's as fast as you finish it, but you pay $1,000 a month, something to that extent. And I'm like, you could just go use Udemy, and it'll teach you everything you need to know. And I can help you with that. It's like, yeah, but they give you a mentor and stuff like that. Da 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 da. And they don't know nothing about nothing. 5 years later, don't know nothing about nothing. But they sign in their signature, software developer, software engineer. I'll be like, man, get out of here. Bruh. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. That's all I can say. That is all I can say. And Mitch also says, and most times those people that get those jobs, technical, already have, they might be in the industry already. Let's say they're working tech support for a company, and then they go to do software engineering, QA, and then they move in within the company, right? That's what I always encourage people to do. Get some type of job in the industry so that you can get that experience and then move up and maneuver from there. And then you can expand out to other companies. So totally agree. I need some water. All right. So it says, don't forget personal life too. What about personal life, Mitch? I don't know what you're talking about. So I incorporate my personal life into my work life so that I can do both. So I'll go to my parents' house around the corner, and I'll bring my laptop with me, and then I'll just continue working on thumbnails because I can multitask, right? I can look at you and talk, and I can type at the same time. I'll be working on my thumbnails. I'll be working on my descriptions, all the stuff that I can do away from the office. Like the only thing I need to do in this office is to record the videos and go live. But all the other prep work, I can do that. I can do that other places. So that's how I spend social time with other people. But you got me messed up. If you think I'm just gonna be sitting there staring at you, having a conversation about God knows what, I save my words for important stuff. But if we're gonna be talking, I'm gonna be working at the same time. If we're gonna be talking, I'm gonna be working at the same time because that's just me. That is just me. All right. And it's just, I kind of agree with that. I think Mitch was referring to when I was talking about the work stuff. Whenever you're stressed, get to work and it'll fix everything. And Mitch says, here today, gone today, tomorrow. So true. Trust me. I know. I've seen it for myself. And Mitch says, the more I'm around people, I lose energy. Can be around 100,000 people. I'll still feel alone. Ooh, okay. I got you.
They ain't believing us.
They ain't believing us, Mitch. They ain't believing us. But was it really about the boot camp, or were jobs just hiring? Well, even if they're hiring, they need to have you need to have something. I would suppose, like having some type of education that they were hiring, but if you didn't have nothing, then I don't think you'd probably get it. But now that they're not hiring, people are still grifting with these boot camps and stuff like that. It just puts people in such a distasteful position and stuff like that. But I'm also going to say that the people also don't do the work. They also don't do the work. So when I'll see different types of people, from QA, software developers, cybersecurity, whatever. And it's okay, you want this, but what are you doing for it? And they're just oh, I'm applying for a job. I'm applying is not getting ready for a job. Because my tech barbarian who starts on June 3rd, they were able to talk about, because they asked me how did you learn about Docker in such a fast, in such a short amount of time? And they were able to share the project that we're working on, learning Git, learning how to automate APIs, learning how to do all this stuff. So it's the boot camp is only going to take you a certain amount of the way there. What are you going to do to actually show that you know what you're talking about? So that's the missing piece. To me, that's the missing piece for many, many people. All right. Okay. And we got Trap in the building. What's going on, Trap? Welcome. Was it career? That's the first part. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Mitch. I'm trying to get people in trouble. I'm trying to get us caught up. No, you said all this stuff you do. I said don't forget to throw personal in there too. I know. Oh, okay. Got you. Yeah, I do. I mean, I do. As long as it is. See, I'm all about productivity. So I'll I'll schedule my the personal stuff when they have movies in the park over here. I'll add that to the calendar, and I'll send a calendar invite to the people who are going so that they can know, okay, this is the time, and or I might schedule a whole Saturday to go do something, but it has to be in advance because that is a rare occasion because I be putting in that work. All right. Let's get so So Trap hit us with, I changed my major today to network systems technology. I can't wait to start learning. I talked about you today with my what? You see, Mitch? I was spoken about today, not you, Mitch, not you. Thank you, Trap. You made my day, Trap. You made my day. And network systems technology, that is awesome. We're gonna have some lively discussions in the Discord because I am interested in hearing all about that network systems technology. Interesting. And I'm sure there's going to be many different things. And here's the thing. I hope you mentioned my name too. Oh my goodness. But yeah, and here's the thing, as you get into it, you're going to get exposed to a lot more other areas, although that's the major you have now, you don't have to be locked into it. There's so many different ways you can go as well. So that's going to be awesome. That's going to be so awesome. Because getting that knowledge and getting that exposure is the number one thing. So very, very cool. Very, very cool. And Trap also says, Network System Technology, Associates of Science, Network Security, Cyber. That is so... You see, we make it happen over here. We make it happen. Shout out to Trap. Shout out to Trap.
Appreciate you.
All right, you see, I'm about to spend the whole night celebrating you guys, and we have got to get to work. Shout out to your car celebrating Trap as well. All right, so let's get to our next question of the night.
Another one.
Not that one. Let's do that again.
Another one.
QA startup woes. Oh, goodness gracious. It's already starting off depressing. All right, so I joined the startup as a senior software development engineer and test over a month ago, and now I want to leave for various reasons, and I want to know what to say on new job applications. Over a month ago, and after months of searching in this unstable market, I finally landed a job in a new startup that looked challenging from the onset but had a promising outlook. But as I kept working, the more the issues crept in and the more I became unmotivated. Aw. I'm sorry. I am sorry. To list but a few, the biggest problem that arose quickly with time was the sheer amount of responsibilities that were dumped on me for a significantly lower amount of salary that I was offered. Aww. Now, you may rightfully say that you should have seen that coming when you accepted the role, but that takes me to the next point, which is the frantically micromanaging CEO. While not an awful person by any means, that's sweet of you to say, he just can't help himself not to scope creeping every other day with something new that has to be done soon and disrupting the workflow. On top of that, he seems to have trust issues with the engineers, who are all great in all fairness, and seems to be constantly over their shoulders asking when is this thing or that, a little bit of this and a little bit of that thing coming out, and never staying in his own lane and letting the professionals, letting the big kids do their job. Aww. So you can imagine how things are a bit wild, wild west here. And as much as I'm trying to champion best practices and proper agile etiquette, it doesn't help when it all goes deaf to CEO ears. So I decided that life is too short to put up with this bull and look for greener pastures and all of that. Now, my question is, when new recruiters ask me, what is the reason you want to leave? What would be the best answer to give in a situation like this? Should I be honest and tell them my cries for the best practices and improvement fall on deaf ears by the CEO, who's also acting as middle management, or come up with some white lie? So here's my first question, right? Why does the white lie need to be the little lie? What would be the big lie? Huh? What? I'm just kidding. All right, so let's start the timer on this one. So I do agree with everybody else. You knew what you were going into. Going to a small startup where you are the senior software development engineer and test. What do you expect, right? But what do you do to get out? So here's the bright side. Maybe it's not so bright side, but here's the bright side, right? You are probably going to be there for a while anyways, because not many other places are like the job market is slow right now, as everybody has rightfully acknowledged. The job market is slow. So you might end up being there for another 6 months, 8 months. And guess what? Recruiters don't give two flying about why you're leaving. If they really want you, then they'll take you. If they really want you, they'll take you. Like now, if they see that you've been at this job for a month though, and now you want to leave because here's the thing. If you want to leave because you've been there for a month, the problem that's going to be is, what if you don't like it there? What if you don't like it there? Like, you could be great, but if you don't like it there, then what if you screw them the same way you're screwing this company? Because you only been there for a month and you want to leave, knowing what you're getting into. You're desperate for a job, and this is the cost of hiring that I was talking about yesterday. This exactly is the cost of hiring, because the company had to spend money to hire you, and I'm pretty sure they told you what to expect. It's a startup. There's so many different hats that you're gonna have to wear there. Probably have to create some QA infrastructure, some CI/CD pipelines, working with the developers to get things underway, writing some automated tests, dealing with the CEO. I mean, what I say in this is, don't threaten me with a good time. See, like, I love the struggle and the headache and the torture. Like, I live for this. I live for this. Maybe I'm a masochist, right? But the problem is that now when you go to leave, like, you just cost this company probably over $10,000 to hire you. And now you want to leave them after a month. So now you want to go to another company. So it's going to be tough. But in your favor, you'll probably be there for a while, because it takes some time to get a job. But even after 6 months, you're ready to leave, you're like, Now, some recruiters, they'll overlook it, because if it's a recruiter who is not working for the actual company that's hiring, and they're going to place you in another company, they're going to get their commission regardless. So they'll probably put you somewhere else and place you and stuff like that. And that question about why you're leaving might not even come up. But if you're working with a recruiter for an actual company, then you might have some trouble. And I don't know how you become unmotivated at a new company after a month. The sheer amount of what did you expect? And if you knew what the amount of responsibilities were going to be, why didn't you negotiate your salary better? That's one of my questions. And here's another problem that I have with like this type of mentality is when you're running away to thinking that there's going to be greener. There are no greener pastures. And you know how they say the grass is greener on the other side? Well, the water bill is also more expensive. See, for me, I would rather have a heart-to-heart with the CEO to say, "Hey, you need to back off. Like, if you want to know what's going on, come to the stand-up, come to the sprint review. But this is the way that we work. This is our working agreement, and set the policies in place, set the practices in place. But maybe the CEO is micromanaging because you don't have any practices in place yet." And they're trying to grow the company, like, because especially with a startup, you can go belly down at any given moment. Because you're like a lot of times they're relying on funding, on different rounds of funding, looking for different investors. So it is very worrisome. People are always thinking about like the CEO is supposed to be getting paid so much, but imagine a CEO of a startup who might not have who doesn't know next year if the company's still going to be around. So they're like, okay, let's get it going. And the thing is, when you are a part of that startup, if you're interested in that type of lifestyle, then you can play a monumental role in the company. You can play a monumental role in the company. So that's why it's like you're running away, but you don't know what you're running to. Because a lot of companies, they'll make it sound nice, but then once you actually get there, that might not actually be the case. So Should you tell a white lie? What's going to be that white lie? What's going to be that white lie? And if you're going to be complaining about your CEO, then no one wants to hear that anyways. No one wants to hear someone complaining. I am allergic to complaining. I say, you know what? We are going to run it up. All right. So let's check the chat real quick. Let's see. Drop said, how long did it take you to get into the tech field? What did you enjoy doing? Oh, we got a question. All right, let me see if there's any. Let me start this. Let me see if there's any other chat stuff, and then we will get to Trap's question for tonight. It says, probably needed a job, probably didn't really want it. Most people, they're just accepting a job right now, and they are, and then like they're like, oh, I want to go. And Mitch says, Chris Brown's grass ain't greener. I've never seen Chris Brown's grass, to be honest with you. So, and fertilizer is to that's a fact. All right, let's get to Trap's question. Let's do this. It says, how long? Let's do it like this, right?
Another one.
How long did it take you to get into the tech field? What did you enjoy doing the most? So let's get to 5 minutes up. So, it's a little different for me. I was, so I've always been around tech since I was a child, right? I was saying the other day how, my dad had a business where he would export office supplies and computers and stuff like that, copiers, printers, to Haiti. And so I was always with him when he would go to his, like me and my sister were always with him when he go on his meetings with vendors and like purchasing and stuff like that. So I was always around it. Started playing with computers at an early age. And then when I went to school for a networking program, like network engineer. And then as soon as I graduated school, I got a job at working tech support. So I was answering phone calls, helping helping people like the web hosting customers like configure their email, being able to upload their files, stuff like that. So I've always been in it for like the past 20 years now. And so and then I had progressively moved up from there. So when I got that job as tech support, one of the directors wanted, like, they recruited me to lead the movement of moving like the web design team into like in-house. And then from there I got into QA. So, and I just progressed that way. So it didn't take too long because I got in when I was young. I was probably about 23, 24 when I got into tech support, and then I stayed in from there and like took different routes. So that's a little different for me. And so that's why I always tell people, like, if you went to I'll put it like this. Once you're getting started off, to build experience, you're going to have to get into the industry. Get your foot in the door first, and then you can start moving up. Now, with your, like, if you have like an associate's, if you have a bachelor's, it's a little easier to get into those positions because you're meeting the requirements and stuff like that. But a lot of times you might have to end up doing an internship to start off, and then from that internship, you grow from there. It just depends. My favorite part, or what did I enjoy doing the most? So I've been doing QA for the past 15 years, more or less. And I would say my favorite part, so a couple of things that I enjoy doing. I love writing the automated tests, writing like, I feel like it's like writing robots where I'm saying, okay, I need you to go do this, and the other. I've even like automated some stuff where I'm like, all right, actually I tried to automate this, like when I'm during like Black Friday, where I'd write a script to go add something to the cart so that I can get it before everybody else. Did it work? Not really. But I always enjoyed doing automation. Now, the my best time working at a company was after I left the web translation company. I went to work for a real software company where I got to be part of the agile team, and I got to be like work with scrum masters, work with developers, work with product owners. So that really enlightened me for how Scrum worked and how software development worked. And I just took off from there. I learned how to do API testing. I learned how to I enhanced my automation testing. So I learned so much in that situation. And also getting to build a demo that was presented at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona in like 2018, 2019. So that was some of the some highlights that I remember, because that helped me so much to be able to work with like lead different engineers, play a strong role in the QA team, in the software development team. So just making a big impact. So for me, it's always been what value can I bring for whatever amount of time that's going to be. And so for me, like, because I started so early, it didn't really take that long, because I started at the bottom. I started at the bottom in tech support. I think I started off at like $12 an hour or $12.60 an hour. When my manager, like, before, like when the person who called me to interview me, or to ask me to come in for an interview, he was like, "Yeah, I almost didn't call you because I couldn't say your last name." He's like, "Can I speak to Ralph?" And I was like, "Yeah, this is Ralph." Like, "Oh yeah, we have this job opening, whatever you applied for. Can you come interview?" But that is the one, like, that position right there. That is what took off for me. And to this day, everything that I do, I'm still using stuff that I was learning 20 years ago working for that web hosting company. So that, like, and I think, and that also helped me to speak to people, help them and provide them customer service. So all of it worked together. I am a fan of people doing technical support to grow into, or doing help desk, things like that, to grow in the field, because you have to get in somehow, and sometimes it's not that easy to get in. So starting at a lower level to work your way up, to me, I think that is a good idea if it works for you. Right? So that is an amazing question. Shout out to Trap. And let me wrap that one up. It says, "It's a song." I never heard that song. I don't know this stuff. I don't know this. He didn't catch reference. Hey, I don't know. And it says, "I remember when I was making $5.25 an hour. My first, I was making $5.25 an hour too. I was working at a park as a park attendant down here in Miami." And I started off at $5.20. I was 16 I was 15 and a half. 15 and a half when I got my first job. And working at a park. And yeah, $5.25 an hour. Might have been $5.15 an hour. I don't know. But yeah, sitting at the park, getting the baseball fields ready, stuff like that. It's like, I was 14. Really? Okay, I got you. Isn't that like against labor laws, Mitch? Isn't that against labor laws? I'm just saying. Anyways, that was a great question by Trap. As always. All right, let me get some water, and then we're going to get to our next question. And it says, "All I would say is I can't wait until I make it to 6. That's a fact. But when you guys say, like, "Oh snap, I got to 6," I think I don't even know how much. I don't even know what I maxed out at over there. And it says, had to have paperwork signed to work. Oh, by your parents? Gotcha. I don't even know how much I made it till I stopped working there, but it is what it is. All right, cool. Let's get going to our next question of the night. I might make this the last question of the night, actually. I might make this the last question of the night because we had some additional questions from the chat that we had to take care of as well. So let me see. We'll see. All right. So let me see. The next question up is,
Another one.
Mental health versus wealth. Where is your tipping point of health versus wealth? And you know what? Maybe it's not only mental health. They might be talking about health in general, but we shall find out. Where is your tipping point? I'm a 29-year-old male in a dilemma where I'm always wanting to switch jobs. However, I'm currently in an industry that's hard on your body, 12-hour days, and is rotational shift, but it's rotational shift work, but it pays well. I have an undergrad in law and criminology. Okay. And I'm always tempted by the shorter days, better physical environment, and the defined pension and benefits. It's at a trade-off of 100K versus 75K, private versus government. The wages will rise almost equally in both at the same pace, but I pass on the question. In our current economic climate, do you value money over your health and time? What's your ideal balance? Well, that's a good question. Do I value money over your health and time? Well, I value my time above all else because time is money.
Money. Hey.
Check out the time cost calculator available in the app stores. So, with that being said, now it depends on your health. Like when you say health, if you are like physically like hurting yourself, then you have to think about what is going to be the wear and tear on your body and how long you can actually do it for. See, in my mind, I don't think the hard physical labor on your body is sustainable. So while you can probably do, I don't know. All right. Let's address something real quick. What do you do with a law and criminology major if you're not going to law school? I'm not really sure. So what type of jobs are available for law? Like maybe, well, you did say government, making 75K for the government, from the government, not FBI agent, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, the point being is that I wouldn't say go for physical labor because, especially if it's a 25K difference, because the price you're going to end up paying in like health and medical and stuff like that is going to be way more than 25K. If you can have a better physical environment with pension and benefits compared to not getting those now. In the cost of hiring video that I released yesterday, I talked about how there is a base salary and then there is an actual, like how much your total compensation is. The total compensation could be a easy $30,000 to $40,000 more than your base pay, because that's going to include your 401k. It's going to include your medical. That's going to, or if you're working for the government, it'll be a pension. It's going to include, what else do we have in there? Whatever benefits, like PTO, all that stuff. All of that stuff is going to count for something. So if this one company is paying you a flat 100K with no benefits, stuff like that, and it's it's being very taxing on your body, compared to a company where you're not putting all that physical labor on your body, and you have all these benefits attached, that can be well over 75K, or it can be well over 100K. You might be looking at maybe 110K, who knows? And here's the thing, like, for me, I'm in a great position because I work like regular work hours. I mean, sometimes you do more because you have deadlines you have to meet and stuff like that. But I'm able to do this show. I'm able to do shows in the morning. I'm able to do Thursday nights. I'm able to do Saturday mornings. I'm able to do all the stuff that I'm able to do. So I am actually buying back my time. Somebody said the other day, I'm using my company to invest in me in so many different ways. Because I'm learning I'm learning a lot on the job, and then the things that I need to learn for the job, I also come and learn it on my own, and I share it with you guys, and then I apply it back to my job. So so that's the thing. Like, it's so much more than a 100K versus 75K. You got to lay it all down. Like, so, okay, so you take a piece of paper and you fold it in half, and you say, okay, the labor intensive job, working 12-hour days, putting a lot of wear and tear on my body, with a rotational shift, at 29 years old, all the pros and cons. How long is it sustainable? Now, on the other side of the paper, all the pros and cons of taking this government job. What are the benefits? 401k, pension, whatever. Knowing that the government, once you're in, you're never out. You're like NWO for life, right? And if you plan on having a family one day, how are you going to be in physical shape to be able to keep up with them if you keep putting all this wear and tear on your body? See, me, I would rather put wear and tear on my body by choice, not by force. So that's why I'll go to jiu-jitsu and, fight with people. Try to choke them out. Shout out to Zach. Versus having to, because I have no choice. And I have to lift heavy things 12 hours a day, every single day. So if you have the option, because some people don't have that option, but if you have that option, especially with a law and criminology degree, if you can find a job with that, then great. But I would say, if the wages are going to be rising, with the government, you always have a job for the most part, because they never fire anybody. They just raise our taxes, God forbid. Bruh. Not cool. So I would value the money if you can actually understand the money. Because with good health, that's going to be an increase in money. With buying back your time, shout out to the time cost calculator, that is going to be money, right? Everything comes back down to the money. So you're looking at it from 100K versus 75K. I'm looking at it from, with that 75K, what can I do with it to multiply it? To multiply that 75K so it can be way more, so it can grow exponentially. Versus that 100K where it might be stagnant because it might actually be 100K for a short amount of time because I won't be physically capable. And then once I can't do it anymore, will that other job still be available? Will I be in shape to do that other job? So that's the thing that I want you to think about. That's what I want you to consider, all right? And on that note, that is it, my friend. And let's check out the chat really, really quick. And we're at 9:30 already. All right, so Mitch says, let's see. Mitch says, probably a warehouse worker. 100K for a warehouse worker, though? That's a bit, I don't know. Amazon worker makes sense, but not for 100K. Go into law tech. That would be pretty interesting, law tech, and that's what I tell a lot of people. Use your current whatever your background is, use that to try to use that for some type of tech field. I'll tell nurses, try to find these health tech companies where they need your insight as a nurse. So let's say you learn something about, maybe QA, business analyst, project manager, whatever, but you're looking to transition, you used to be a nurse or something like that, and you want to transition out of nursing into tech. Those are the areas I tell you to look for first. Look to those areas and see if you can get into that field and add value, and maybe you can grow your career from there. And then you can, once you get in, then you can start going all over the place, Let's see what else we got. Mitch says, Ralph is like the evil angel, and I'm like the nice, understanding one. Aww. It's true. I can't deny it. All right. So, and it says the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit. And maybe they can take Shamar Moore's place on Criminal Minds. Maybe they can take Shamar Moore's place on Criminal Minds. What's the name of the show again? I don't remember his name in the show, but yeah. All right. So it says Mitch said that. Yes, you probably did. It was a good one. Have your company invest in yourself. And then Mitch also says needs to be messed up back, legs, and arms. I know. And it says 100K. He's probably doing overtime, so he's probably already making 75K. Makes sense. And round of applause from your car. And we're going to wrap it up after I finish with the chat, but it's been a great night. We had an amazing show. I really appreciate you guys for hanging out with me tonight. And it says, yup, clinical health tech. Man, there was this company I tried to get in for, like, it was such a cool company. They were doing, they were building an app to manage clinical trials, and it was so cool. It was so cool that, like, I really wanted to get in that company, but they ghosted me. So it is what it is. Their loss, not mine. Their loss, not mine. Yeah, he says, I stopped watching that after you left. I kept watching it. And did you watch SWAT, Mitch? Because I stopped watching SWAT because it got so lame. Like I think he kind of overemphasized on that show. I don't know. I was not a big fan of SWAT. Like sometimes I was keep up with the storyline, and then after, man, I don't know. All right. And we got Phil Knight. Shout out to Phil Knight. What's going on, Phil Knight? It says, currently on my journey to become a data engineer, 2 years. Are you saying you've been at it for 2 years or you have 2 years to go? But shout out, Mitch is a data genius in here. And so I am so excited to have you here. If you are into data engineering, you definitely want to tune into our Saturday morning show, The Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate, where we review the weekly economic numbers. So we go from jobs, stuff like that, because that has a lot of data, and we're looking into ways to parse that data to make it a little bit easier for us to get into. So welcome. And you see, Mitch is already seeing that. He's like, interesting. Yes, very interesting. I love getting, like, we got McCall who's in data. We have Mitch's who's in data. Now we got Phil Knight in data as well. Awesome. And as Ikar says, salute to you. You are in the right place. And he says, the ultimate coach, Phil Jackson plus Bob Knight, Phil Knight. Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you guys. You know what we do at this time, right? We had a great time. Tomorrow, don't forget, tomorrow we are going to be releasing the video. We're going to be premiering the video on business analysts. They do a lot of work. I've seen, like, a lot of the people who were in QA with me, they were business analysts and they went back to, and then they came into QA, then they went back to business analysts and back and forth. So there is a strong correlation there, and all the good stuff, right? So tune in tomorrow, and we're going to be back live on Thursday night. We're going to be implementing Swagger documentation for API, all that good stuff. Like we work here. We work when I get stressed, when I get annoyed, I work. I lean into the work, and everything is made better again. All right. So with that being said, we are going to wrap it up. So the question, you guys know, after I answered all of your questions, you know what it is. The question that I have for you is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
we are so much more than entertained. We're entertained. We're informed. We are more educated. We are better. Because we
the best.
we are the best from half court. And you guys know what it is, right? Because you guys know yesterday's price is not, it is not today's price. And today's price is certainly not tomorrow's price. Because
One more thing.
Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is going up. All right. And on that note, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm going to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. You guys take care. I will see you guys tomorrow morning where we're going to be working some more on our mobile app. And on that note, I am out. Take care, you guys. Take care. Take care.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Spartans! What is your profession?